We got part 3.
Part 3 of Friday the 13th review.
Remake.
In-depth discussion.
Break down the scenes and the kills and everything. So we left off with Daniel Pennebaker and Jared Padalecki, his characters, at Camp Crystal Lake searching around for his sister for no reason. Even though it's like dark as hell and they'd be getting like West Nile from mosquitoes. So then they see a freak, even though it's a rundown camp, they see someone walking up. They're like, oh, hide under this canoe with the earthworms.
They see Jason coming, carrying a body.
And he drops, for
he
some
leaves
reason.
His backpack right there in the open view.
Yeah. And Jason grabs his backpack and notices someone there. And he tears down all the canoes for some stupid reason.
Like he hears a noise, so he just
drops Willa Ford's dead body.
He starts raging like a freaking WCW FP.
So then they get away eventually, somehow, and without Jason seeing them. And then they run over a tripwire where the bells are going. And then this is
shots
underneath, and this is when they reveal the tunnels that they chose to do.
That his sister's still
I think
alive.
that's pretty creative how they made him have underground tunnels throughout the lake.
I don't know.
For this
I kind
one.
of didn't like that aspect.
I thought it was pretty tight how they added that. And
how it adds into the.
And it shows that the girl's alive, his sister's alive.
Self-sufficient.
So you're like, wow, Jason's been raping his sister the past 6 weeks.
Oh yeah, you're like, wow, really?
That's what they lead you to believe, and you're like, wow, I would have rather been killed than get raped by Jason Voorhees, like Sloth.
And you're like, wow, this is raw.
And then Jason walks in the room. No, then it's like shows a whole bunch of filler scenes of Jason walking under the tunnel of his bake room. And without saying anything, like he's the coolest guy in the world, he like throws down the backpack and walks right past her. Like, yeah, I just rape her, I don't talk to her. And then he goes to sharpen his machete on like an ice hockey skate sharpener.
Oh yeah, that part's tight. It's like the same
sharpener. They're gonna do part 2 and he's gonna be wearing ice skates or something.
It's like the same sharpener that he uses to do his ice skates in the winter. That he does his machete.
So then it's like flashbacks of like his mother getting killed and shit, and then making the connection like, hey, this chick reminds him of his mother, so that's why he's keeping her here.
She's wearing the necklace around her.
And then she's like, Jason.
Like, wow, really?
And then the girl grabs Jason. She's like, Jason, it's okay. And it's like the gayest shit ever.
And you're like, what the hell is this part to do with anything?
So then she starts picking her lock, and she gets loose, and it's like the most filler scene ever. It goes on forever.
This is the real whack one, because freaking...
Shut up, we gotta go on.
No,
we gotta talk about a bunch of other stuff.
GPS that she found, freaking, like, cracks it open, like, you know, gets out the wire. She's like, come on,
it's like a bunch filler. It's like a MacGyver move by, like, some white bitch.
They film it for 3 minutes. Alright, go on.
And then it cuts to Julie and a girl dancing. And like the Asian and the black kid watching her, and he's just like, when I want to come back in naturally, I want to be a button on her freaking pants.
Oh, yeah, he's got the shot that's on fire.
Oh yeah, that shot's
And he breaks the family heirloom, and the blonde kid's like,
no, he brings it up the shot to her, and he's like tries to hit on her, and she's like, you just suck and blow, you just blow and
burns
suck.
himself because it's been flaming forever on his lip. And then he breaks the family heirloom, and then he freaking Blondie makes him go out to the garage. Because he freaking...
He makes him go out to the shed, so you know this is the Asian's death scene coming up.
So the Asian's like, alright, so he goes out there, and it's a pretty tight, like, you know, long dock out there.
They make Jason like an intellect or something, like he's the leader. His huge head... like equals a huge brain.
Freaking
really
goes in there and he like finds like a little bar, like a little refrigerator. He takes a sip of whiskey.
It's like Scottish alcohol. He's like from Scotland. I knew that was the reason why I'm friends with you, Trent.
And then freaking, so then he's messing around with stuff. And
so then Juliana go like grabs Trent, and then that's like the infamous sex tit scene that goes on forever. And they keep on cutting the shots to everyone. And
No, and also this is when freaking
The black
Chinese
guy.
kids out there at the barn or at the garage, and the black guy's hitting the bong, and then he like whips out like a Kmart catalog, and he's like, oh,
That shit's
and he like
hilarious.
wants to like freaking whack off to like some Kmart bitch. Alright, go.
he's like, it'll do. So then by this time, Jared Padalecki and Daniel Pennebaker make it back to the house, and they're like, oh, hey,
Oh yeah,
we
they're
saw
like,
some
hey.
guy carrying a dead body, let's call the cops, da da da. And
And
then the
Demon's
black guy's like,
like-
what, is it because I'm high?
What, you gonna mess with me because I'm high?
That's
And
fucked
you're
up.
like, wow, dude, this is really whack.
And you're like, those people that say that in real life, that shit's whack.
And you're like, wow, people still say hi.
Then it's more tit scenes. And then the bitch starts knocking on the door. So you still think they're going out, but they're not. And then it cuts to the Asian at the shed, and he's doing more dumb shit in the shed. Like,
No.
he's bouncing a basketball. And then
But
he's playing with a
also-
hockey stick.
Yeah, he's like, look at this stick. It's
And that's when he
curved to the
breaks
left
the
like my
light.
wang. Alright, he breaks the light, and then he's like, oh no, I'm in trouble.
And then he sees
then we see
Jason, and he like
Jason
hands him the
comes up,
hockey
and he's
stick.
like,
She's
oh,
like, it'll complete your outfit.
And he's, oh yeah, no,
And they
he's like,
decide to kill him with
He's
an
like,
ice
"Here."
pick that was out there.
oh, that was real tight, where he puts it right through his throat, and it takes forever to go through, and you're like, oh,
It was kind of tight.
totally killed the Chinese kid good.
Jason loves killing people. He killed them nice and slow. He's like, Asian,
Wow.
I'll do him in slow, like the last samurai. Tom
Asian, I'll
Cruise.
do him in like the commies. Alright.
So then, they notice that the Asian guy's gone.
Yeah, and, so
And then it's like the
freaking-
whole cast in the
demon's
living
like-
room.
No, then it cuts to the black guy, and he's like, "Hey, man, he's still out there. I'm gonna go get him." The
And-
Chinese kid, his
And
friend.
it's like,
So then he grabs a freaking pan.
and Trent's like, what, you've been out there for 8 hours fucking him in the woods? So then, yeah, the black guy goes out to look for
He's
the
like,
Asian.
"You been around with this motorcycle head?"
So he goes out, the black guy goes out to get killed. And that's the infamous axe scene where he throws.
Oh yeah, he
We gotta
runs into
sum
Jason.
some of this
he runs
up.
into Jason. Jason like inside the garage, and he's like, "Hey," and then make the black guy's character like, "Hey, he's a badass because he's black." Like makes him punch him like, "Hey, get off me, motherfucker!"
Oh, I know, he actually
and
fucks him up.
he
Like,
actually
they make
punches
his
Jason.
character, that's like retarded.
And you're
He
like,
fucks
right,
up Jason's
alright,
leg.
he's like a white black guy. Alright. So then he's running out. Jason whips the freaking axe right at him, hits him in the
Doesn't
back.
kill him, though.
So then he's making him leave out there like bait, and they're all talking.
No,
like,
then
we can't go out
Supernatural,
there."
the guy that they make you try, the lead character, they make you try and like, he's like a pussy. He's like, no, don't go out there. Jason's baiting us. He's a total intellect. He's the smartest Jason in the world.
He's the smartest Jason. It's
He's baiting
2009.
us. And then they like, freaking, the cop shows up. No, it shows Jason up on the second story, and it's tight as fuck.
Oh yeah, I don't know where he's up on the roof, and it's like a camera shot looking up at him, and you're like, oh, tight. But
No,
how do you get
then-
you're like, how do you get on the roof?
No, before that, that's when they showed Juliana Gold go upstairs for no reason.
Oh yeah, she goes up there for no reason.
In the bathroom. Jason's up in the
And
bathroom.
he's up there like behind the shower curtain.
Somehow he's all the way up there instead of busting through a window.
He's like,
It
"What, I'm
makes
in the
no
shower."
sense. It's like half retarded.
He's just taking a shower.
No, he kills her silently. Like, he doesn't want anyone
Oh
else
yeah,
to
he pushes
hear.
up against the freaking like.
He's like the smartest guy in the world.
It's like the towel hanger rack, and he like sticks.
But
her
he
into
doesn't
it.
really kill her. They don't show it. He just knocks her out because he shoves her up
That
against the
shit's
wall.
retarded.
And then the cop shows up. Oh, and this shot is badass.
This is
When
when
Jason
Blondie,
jumps off
like-
the deck.
This is
No.
when Blondie also whips out his gun, and he's going through the house. How you going?
Yeah, then the cop shows up and he's knocking on the door, and Jason jumps off the
Oh,
top
yeah, he
porch
jumps off the freaking
and sticks
front of
the
the
porch.
house. and
This
sticks
shot's
the-
so iconic how they
it's
make
like
it
the
go
freaking-
through his head and
the
then
fire
like
picker
go through the
poker.
other side of the door. It's tight as
He
fuck.
sticks it right through the cap's eye, and it's like right through the door, and you're like,
Now in the trailer
"Oh."
they make it look tighter than in the movie than it was, but I
It
don't
looked
know.
pretty tight.
But it was still really tight.
Alright, let's
Awesome
see.
kills for
And they're
Friday
all
the 13th
like, oh
movie.
my goodness.
So then they all go to leave. They're like, let's get the hell out of here. And they jump in the freaking cop car's freaking car.
Oh yeah, and they're
Trent's
like,
car's at the
Mayday,
docks.
Mayday.
And so Trent jumps in the car. he kills her with
And
a
then
gun.
Jason like
Forgot to mention,
throws
he
down
shoots
the like
Juliana
chick's
Go.
dead body like from freaking all the way at the top of the house. Like,
Oh, I
onto
know.
the-
It makes no sense
onto the
except for
front-
like a
on-
script jump scare for Jason to
it's
do
just-
that.
it's
He'd
just
already
for
be
a
out
jump
there.
scare.
So they throw a dead body on
It
it
lands
like
on
it's
the
a freaking action
windshield.
movie from the 90s or something.
And they're all like, ah.
Like, yeah, that'd be cool if it was 1997. So then the blonde guy screams. That part's hilarious.
Oh yeah, so then he takes off running. They all
It
take
shows
off
them running in different directions. The only ones that are left is Trent.
And then Blondie gets up.
Trent, Jared Padalecki, and Daniel Pennebaker go in a different direction.
And he comes up upon a freaking truck.
And they go running through the woods and he trips in a creek. It's badass. And he runs on the road like it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre, of course.
And
it's
this
like
truck
a tow
like almost
truck.
runs him over, and it's pretty tight how they
No,
do it.
and they make you
Like,
look like Uncle Monty from the Texas
Oh,
Chainsaw
yeah, it looks like
Massacre.
Uncle Monty.
The
you know,
beginning.
Like, wow, really?
And then, like, of course, Jason shows up and they kill it. They do justice to the douchebag. They kill him pretty good.
Yeah, freaking Jason freaking slashes him, stabs him, freaking picks him up and throws him on the freaking back of the truck.
And then
like,
the guy
stabs him
drives
through the whole-
away. It's
And then
pretty
it's
tight.
like real tight. That's like one of my favorite shots in out of a couple horror movies. This is one, especially for the kill, because
It's
the
pretty
feet are
tight.
dragging away while he's driving away, and it's so tight.
And then it cuts to Pennebaker or whatever, and they see Willa Ford's dead body in the creek. They just show that randomly so that they know that Chelsea's dead. And then they run into Jason's house, and this is where they find his sister, like, yelling under the boards.
And she's like,
So then they chisel her loose, like, they show him, like, put a
oh
chisel
yeah,
and,
they're
like,
hey,
he's
come
like,
on.
and he hugs her, and it's like, thank God they didn't do a prolonged emotional scene. And so then Jason jumps down like a ninja, and he starts running and chasing them through.
Running, it's like the
And then they show
fastest
Rob
Jason.
Zombie like shaky dome can't like.
Oh yeah, it's
shaky.
like the Dark Knight action scenes. It's all shaky. You can't see crap.
Like running through the. And this is when they start to show a bunch of filler shit, and you're like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, all the emotional bull.
No, so then the Jason stabs the main bitch out of nowhere. It's a surprise
Oh
kill.
yeah,
You thought
and
that
you're
they might have let her
you're
live.
like, whoa, I didn't see that
So then
coming.
it's just what's
So
his
then
name
it's
and his
just the
sister left.
motorcycle guy and his sister.
And then they get through, and it's like the Lost World Jurassic Park set
oh yeah,
out of
it's
nowhere.
totally the Lost World. Jurassic
Jason
Park set.
grabs
It's
him out of
freaking-
nowhere and like throws him. They don't even show it
Because
it's
they
so
come
dark.
out the tunnel throughout that freaking car that's like tipped over on its side. That's pretty tight though. And then Jason's also right there at the top, and he like.
This is when they make it through the barn. We got to sum up this last part. They make it through the barn for the final scene with the wood splitter. No, and Jason, it's hardcore trailer, and Jason jumps through the window and chokes him.
It's pretty tight how they kill him though, because
It's a pretty tight action scene.
Because
How they
it
did it.
chokes him all the way to the thing and freaking.
Oh no, this is so gay. Then the sister holds the locket out of nowhere, and she's like, "Jason, it's okay."
Oh
It's
yeah,
okay.
this part's
She
real
acts
gay.
like it's
That
his
part's
mom
real
or
gay.
something.
Yeah, before you can
It
even
didn't
hook
land.
the thing
It
on
was
her.
so stupid.
But it's also tight though when the thing's like ripping up though, like his face, ripping up the mask. It's cutting.
So then they wrap the chain around him, and it goes up in the air. It's a badass action scene. And his guts start getting split up. His big fat dome starts getting stabbed. It's pretty tight. Then it cuts to the next morning, and it's all the crime scenes. It's
Oh
badass.
yeah, and they give him like a Muslim burial.
No,
They, like,
shut
they,
up.
like wrap up.
No, it's like the
Jason.
next day, and they give him like a Bin Laden burial. Like they spent the night just to freaking wrap Jason's body up, and,
Even though he's not even
and throw
Muslim.
it into Crystal Lake.
Even though he's not even Muslim.
Just like Bin
Just
Laden.
like Bin Laden's not Muslim, but
And they
Barack's
throw
an
his
idiot.
freaking mask in, and then they throw the locket. It's pretty gay. No,
And
the
she's
shot's
like,
pretty
"It's
tight
over."
actually.
It's over.
So they spent the night just to give him a Muslim burial, and they're like,
But
"What
then
the fuck?"
Jason freaking pops out of the
They're
dock,
like, but it's
like, straight
Jason.
up
Of course,
and
he's
rips her.
not dead.
and you're like,
With the mask on, by the way. So he put the mask on and then busted through the docks.
Oh yeah, and it's also showing the tight water shots when he's drowned into of like the mask floating on the bottom sea,
Yeah.
on the bottom
that's
of
what
the
I was
lake,
saying.
and then all. Yeah,
We got
it's
30
dope.
seconds. So yeah, that was our
Alright, what are your final thoughts?
Friday the 13th. A lot of people hated it just because it was a remake and they hate on remakes, but they got all the iconic shots that they needed to. Alright, leave
I
a
thought
comment.
It was alright. I
Leave a
mean,
comment. Tell us your thoughts on the movie.
Yeah, leave your
JBM and
comments.
Mr. Creepshow 09.
check it out.